Chronosphere has been quite unpopular lately. Lina, another option, has been more in vogue. You're going to be facing a Dragon Knight mid.
Come on, LD. Get it together.
I'm trying, Lumi. Don't stress me.
J4 and Liumik. Ooh, great fissure block coming across the river. The shard's going to come through as well. They do not have an Orb of Venom here, but the right clicks, especially with the boots first, and now they're going to block him a little bit. J4 will be giving the first blood, and the 5 position, or rather the 4 position, they just bore your plane and then they mess you up. The modern pirates, you know?
Yeah, modern pirates are not as cool as typical pirates. I think, you know, I don't think people really like the idea of the actual, like, pirate. You'll see 3-3 diving RR, getting that kill, but it's gonna beat the Void his life away. Probably not hugely worth. The siege engines for HellRaisers, and they've got 2 of them, are off to the races, which would suggest that Execration are going to be facing some very early tower pressure. I guess that kind of segues nicely into this question, Lumi, of overall thoughts on the 2 lineups and what their respective goals are as we hit the 4-minute mark. You
kind of mentioned what HellRaiser wants to do, right? They have a very early kind of pushing style lineup. They want to be fast. They want to get towers early. Now for Execration, they repel them with a Chronosphere and get kills off of it. So it really comes down to Nando and how he uses the Chrono. If he, let's like,
I guess perhaps part of it was that there was a Bristleback mid, who's obviously
there was also a Lich in those games. Queen of Pain comes in, great play from Milan, silent, stun, everything, but he just blinks away, and all of a sudden it's gonna be the Tusk.
Don't tell me the Tusk gets out here too. He's gonna try, but doesn't roll very far. Chemo though, breathe fire, will shut him down.
Which Dr. Port's in? I haven't seen it.
You haven't even watched it.
I've heard the theme, the music theme. It's lit.
Another jump in here by James onto Kaiser as Dragon Knight continues to get bullied, pressured heavily, and the dual lane appears to be paying off as he's brought down once more. Late rotation from Milan.
He's not, like, he's doing well in the CS department, right? But he's a full level behind the Queen of Pain now. And I think Queen of Pain hitting level 6 is going to be able to pressure the DK more with the rotations coming in. I think this one might be one of those rare games where DK will start to struggle a little bit.
Yeah, it's oftentimes you just see teams are content to trade farm. Yep. 3-3 finds a solo
kill the Void.
I mean,
I did say that 3-3 just carried. He's level 6, he's going to shrine back up, he doesn't even have to go back to base, and all of a sudden, if you look at heroes like Witch Doctor, and even Shaker and Tusk, they could just die. Middling.
Committed dive for Kaiser, want to finish him off. Dragon Knight will end up going down. Now the Queen of Pain all committed. 3-3 comes in with the phase boot. The battery assault, the hook shot gets the kill. Huge plays. First the Void taken down on one side of the map, and now finding the Queen of Pain elsewhere. So 2 group up with the Dragon Knight, the Pugna, and just hit towers. So that is what they're trying to do here mid. But they don't have the best creep wave support. Second wave coming in. The Dragon form used relatively early here. And while that's happening, Raging Potato finds the solo kill. Waits for RR near the
that's a
bounty rune.
Freebie.
That should be a free takedown. Battery assault. Catch from the Togs. See you later, RR. Another kill. Put him on a killing spree. Not quite bring the numbers. Will not be able to find the kill.
One thing that we haven't really mentioned is that mid lane here, they're going to go on the Queen or just defend the Dragon Knight. Either way, it looks like DK is going to get trapped in. Sonic Wave available, and we'll get let loose here. Kaiser, though, very, very tanky.
Oh, that damage from the Pugna almost instantly takes out Chemo. Indeed, will kill him off. Only his Sig
did not do. I think part of the reason why Pugna is doing so well in this tournament is just that it's just not a common pick.
Looks like a commitment here from Nando in the top lane. Drops the Chrono, wants to bring down Milan. Brings him low. Not able to finish him off yet, though. And as he's about to roll away, catches him, gets that crucial bash, and secures the kill. Well, meanwhile, in the mid lane, HR's persistence will pay off. They take down the tier 1. The beauty for them is they might just be able to go for another tower now, as there is no Chrono to defend it. 3-3 finding to kill an RR. Now jumping in is Nando. But this Clockwork is extremely durable with the raindrops. Has the stick charge. Is finally going to go down. Meanwhile, it looks like Execration is going for the trade here. They're going to try and take this mid tier 1. Trading glyph available. They are clustering up top. Pugna marches in, and Nando backs away. He doesn't get put by a stun here.
Oh!
Slam through the trees from Raging Potato, and now going to be punished in a huge way. Decrepified, blasted, deleted. The Void also on the run. The sounds come through. The Boulder Sedge almost connecting. Some really beefy tanks that you can throw in first, right? The Clockwork, the Dragon Knight. You know, if you're really worried about it, one of them can soak up a lot of damage. You swap them out, but hold that thought. Here comes the Echo. Raging Potato catching out the Dragon Knight. Kaiser will go down. Now J4 could be in trouble. They don't have the full squad here. He's going to take down the Maledict, and a Walrus Punch sends him into the S33 hooks away. Get me out of here, baby, he says. Away to safety, and now Swift Ending coming in. They're going to turn this. Nando not only going to miss his easy kill, or so he thought, but now giving up his own life, and with the Pugna alive, probably the biggest damage dealer remaining in this fight. He could take over. RR getting punished for this. A pathetic totem attempted by Potato, but it will buy time for his comrade to get away, or at least so he hopes. Still on the chase. Swift Ending moving in. They get that Decrepify. The blast comes through as well. Then backing off the creeps. Did not get the life drain going. Lost the vision for a second, but now will reclaim it and scores the kill. Still moving forward onto James. Almost dead. Indeed to the Magnetize. One more tick would do it. A little life drain. No, it's if they want to take this fight head on, they're walking into a full 5-man squad, and as James closes the distance, that Pugna Ward is about to be brought down. They will isolate and probably finish off 3-3 here. Trapped in the trees. Really poor position for a Clock to be in, and he gets turned in minutes, item-wise, hero-wise.
They're not dominating, yeah.
They're not dominating. They're actually losing slightly, which is losing by a lot because of the lineup and the way they built it.
Middle. We're going to see Initiation. Milan is going to get blocked off on the left side. They get the 1 kill, and they're chasing for a little bit more. But on the back line, Swift Ending gives a Swift Ending to the Witch Doctor. He's just done.
He's going to go for Raging Potato here, too. Backup TPing in. Earthshaker could be in danger. Kaiser going to bring down Chemo. They've overplayed their hand. It looks like Execration need to get the hell out. They've
actually suffering heavily. That team fight just now really helped out. Gave him a little bit of a spike.
Just wanted to farm the wave here. Nando in trouble. Boulder smash. Nukes for the Pugna. Perfect cog to the pushback. Nets them in the okay, but it's not fast enough to just like confidently go in and sneak one.
Jump. Chrono.
Overcommit here on this Clockwork. They're going to silence him. Snowball coming in, and they will drop the Chrono as well. The Cog's pushing Nando back, but he's a cheeky little bugger, and he'll just time walk his way back in, get the kill. Just it looks like, unless something crazy happens, Chemo marches in, but looks like he'll get there in time. 3-3 is ready. It's a Vanguard to try and ensure this road goes through to completion, and indeed it will. So an Aegis claimed by the Pugna. Now they jump forward, they look for more, they're going to catch out Nando and silence him. Now try to control him, swap him back, but he time walks away into the cogs, though. That might spell his doom.
Okay.
It will. The Dragon Tail gets there's so much sustained control that you're just likely getting chain stuff by batter install the silence. And as I say that, well, he does get hooked out here, doesn't have that BKB yet, and will be punished once again, only reinforcing his desire to get it ASAP. Another death.
Even though he died there, I really like what they're doing. They're just putting the pressure on HellRaiser. HellRaiser's supposed to be the one that's ending the game right now, but instead they're getting picked off all over the place.
Ambush, there are sentry wards littering this area. Somehow, though, he has snuck all the way around. He's taking the long journey, and now he drops the Chrono, and then walking back into it is Milan. That sets up the 2 Hero Queen of Pain ult. Should be 2 supports down to start the fight. Maybe more with Chemo coming in from the side. 1 Swift Ending. J4's dead. Make it 3 down with the Aegis falling. Now it's going to be 4 as they get completely slaughtered. Only the blue golden dragon stands along with Swift Ending. Round 2, can the cores bring it back? They kill off the Tusk. Now they turn for the Queen of Pain. Down for a minute. They do salvage it with a buyback from the Earth Spirit, rejoining the fight as quickly as possible, and RR has to waltz away. Now, when all of that is done, Lumi, the big payload has now been expended aside from the Echo Slam. So if HR want to buy back to do a little Ferrari 430 fan service there with the offensive force stabs, but way work out as Potato jumps in. Oh, it's into the waiting arms of Pain. He doesn't have the BKB, and now he's going to turn. Echo, Totem, let off your hate on that squishy little shamble of bones, and they will get the kill. Now J4 could be next. He swapped for the save, and now it's not 1, but 2 going down. They look for more. Who needs Chronosphere? Who needs Queen of Pain? Oh, certainly not Execration. Okay. They're looking for the 3rd. Milan coming in late, gets off a great Magnetize, but doesn't have to follow up damage to secure any kills. So a series of chain feed on try and get some shrine control.
They might get the Rex. It's like you said, they have all their ults available.
They're so slow at taking objectives, though. I feel like they need a couple more kills to do that.
Well, Kaiser is found right now. He might be that one important kill. They dropped the Chrono for the Dragon Knight.
Didn't get off his BKB, so he's taking maximum damage here in this Chronosphere.
Oh my god.
Walrus Punch. Chain stunned for days.
Dude, he started the snowball when the Chrono was still up, timed it perfectly.
Bigger than the other heroes being dead earlier, they all would have respawned in time, but now Execration can take this tier 2. The game slipping a bit. HellRaisers' grasp is definitely loosening, and they can ill afford for that. This is only their second match of the group stage, but still, this is the type of team that you want to beat if you want to make a deep run here at TI. Someone who came in as a qualifier. Good opportunity, though, as Milan hits the 2-hero Boulder Smash. Combine it with the hook shot. The follow-ups there from Swift Ending. It's Execration have a BKB now. We didn't really talk about it much, but this item will certainly help him against the Void as they go for the offensive four-step. Raging Potato going for the big plays. The swap save, though, is there. Now Swift Ending trying to turn things around. He does have the life drain, but he needs a good target to lock onto. The Frost Dragon with a BKB. Golden Pain raining down, and Execration put on their heels. They do have a buyback on their Void. They'll have to use it now. Commitment from them, but they don't have the full combo to go with it. The Dragon Knight's still full HP. He is very difficult to burst. They're going to try for the chase here. Swift Ending also surviving. They really want to get something out of this Void buyback. Triple buyback overall. The Chrono whips! Oh my god. Nando! A little too cheeky for his own good, perhaps, and now Kaiser's gonna get back in, pummeling James, trying to bring him down. The stuns are there, keeping them controlled as a nice cast comes through from the backside, but Kaiser just leaps forward, and with one blink, a fell swoop takes down the Quap. The Dragon's too strong. He finally will fall here, surrounded by 4, but it took forever and a day. He does have the buyback 3-3, perhaps next on the list. Purged, controlled, likely to drop as well. Make it 4. They don't need the Chrono, as it turns out. Yeah, gif it, clip it. Mom, get the camera. That was that kind of moment as Milan moves into the Roshan pit here.
Is he gonna
Trying
get
to
it?
test. He might be a little too early though. Magnetize comes out. Decent damage done, but not enough. Roshan will go the way of Execration. Age is snagged as well. Pass was big, but here comes Nando. Oh, he would have loved that DD rune. Under cover of Shadowblade, he time walks in, but he only finds the bench. He then goes the other way. Actually gets 2 on the boundary of the Chrono. Beautiful catch and no bench in position to save them. She ran the wrong way, tried to Delta split, and now it ends up being a very ugly situation. But Kaiser is here. He's big. He's pretty bad, but they should be able to chain dash and control him. Should be, I say. Gets off 2 auto attacks, brings James down by about half HP. Still standing this ground. Man, if he just had one ally providing any sort of control during this time, I think he'd be taking 3 or 4 with him.
Yeah, Milan had a 4-man silence. I thought he was going to let loose that Magnetize. Now he drops a bit. It's not going to be enough. He tries to escape. He will get hunted down, and that's going to be a 4-for-1 exchange by the end of the day. Huge Chronosphere by Nando. I thought he was going to miss it completely, but...
First, it looked like he was only going to get the vent to the right. To the east rather than just being able to head directly towards the Chrono for the swap. And that ultimately meant that it was a very successful 2-hero pickoff to start the fight.
Yep. Execration will get the first lane of Rax. Respawn time. Not going to help out here. 40 seconds for Dragon Knight, and that's more than enough time for Execration to get out after the Raxes.
Fights are just... Get the hell out of Archer. Could be an opportunity though. Looking for Raging Potato. They do get the jump here. Blinking in, the Dragon Knight almost takes him 100-0, but the Glimmer Cape comes through. It's going to save the day. They didn't have the detection to deal with Raging Potato. Now they try to focus him. He just wildly is going to get pushed around to the north. I think probably still goes down. Somehow stays alive. They've caged this Dragon. Controlled it beautifully. Great swap out though. The hook interruption takes the Witch Doctor down. Kaiser barely alive. He maybe could go for an armlet toggle. No, he's dead. And with the death of the Dragon Knight, the fight gets very hard from here. Nando though, being controlled, being silenced, being stunned, dusted up. They get him anyway. He's down for 100. The Echo comes through, takes down the Skeleton Man. Execration trying to salvage this fight, but if they know that Void is unavailable, they can really look for the punish here. James is at the extra support pillar at this moment, though, as he jumps forward, finds a double kill of his own, salvaging the fight. They're lacking the damage now. Unless that Pugna wants to buy back, they might lose their whole team again. So close.
The Shaker is so alive. Pugna 33 comes in, heroic play, gets the 1 kill, looking for a second. Yule Scepter picks him up. Does he have cogs? No, he doesn't. And now Raging Potato trying to run out there with the BOTs will not get it.
It's his turn to get a triple kill. He wants chemo as well. Out comes the Sigil.
Hasterin!
Oh, the hate. Put on cooldown at that point.
Iris Smokes, Radiant has a ward to check it out.
The Dragon Knight's the one they're going to find first, but Kaiser does manage to get off his Dragon form. Will he BKB in time? Does he realize how many heroes are committing? In goes Nando. The swap out, though, by J4 keeps SwiftEnding alive. Now he can maybe heal him. No, he decrepifies him, puts him under for the moment. The Queen of Painalt is there. A dagger through the heart of HellRaisers. SwiftEnding now, trying to stand his ground, deal with that Faceless Void. Does get up to decrepify, but finally it ends, and in goes the bash. In comes the kill. Down he will go, and now they can turn their attention to the Dragon Knight. Fight after fight, it's just Execration finding those early key pickoffs, and then almost overrunning HellRaiser's position, but perhaps not this time. Hookshot comes through. It's 3-3 again to the rescue. He was there early, and he's delivering now even later on as the Glimmer Cape from Chemo will end. Fuel Scepter, try and stall it out a little bit longer. Now stun comes through, and down Chemo will go. Another triple for 3-3. Now marching down mid once more under the breach. Can they break the base this time? A Dragon Knight Pug the lineup, still in the game, still looking for their first lane of frags. At 48 minutes, something you really do not expect to see. By this point, either they've won or the game's over is how most would have predicted, but indeed, they fight on. Kaiser on the high ground, he's going to eat the Maledict. The rain track's now there, and meanwhile, the Chronosphere committed is going to catch out that pesky Pugna, but the swap out at the final hour. The Queen of Painalt not quite connected on SwiftEnding, so he stays alive. They still focus here, eyes on the prize, but the Rex isn't down. SwiftEnding man-moded in, giving him the sucky, but he hasn't finished off the melee, and now he's going to go down. Aegis has been expended. That's 4 dead with the Aegis, likely to be a 5th. I think Dragon Knight didn't even get up the cheese that fight. Indeed, La Fromage still in his inventory. Might have been deep backpacking it when he fought. No, so it's 6.
He had it the whole time. He had it the whole time. He wanted to basically get the most value out of it. Raging Potato recognizing says, I'm going to go in with a solo Echo Slam.
They have
killed him.
One buyback, Lumi, aside from this clock. Can Clock and Dragon Knight do it again?
Dragon Knight has to, but the problem is he's going to come back as a pitiful human.
At this point, Earthshaker is your siege engine with that Enchant Totem. Constantly dishing out huge chunks of damage to these towers, gives it another wallop, takes it down. Execration right back in the game. HellRaisers overplaying their hand and getting punished. They saw blood in the water, but Execration, it was only a ruse. A Breathe Fire to try and slow it down. 2 melee racks have fallen. Well, if anyone hits that one, there you go. And now looking for the Megas, and with that, potentially the game. There are 4 alive, but fighting 4v5. Here, if anybody dies, they won't have the buyback, so they have to be cautious about how they take these fights. The Dragon Knight blinking in, but he will get quickly dealt with. The BKB from Nando. The bashes are coming out. He needs to get off that cheese. The BKB do something, but he can't. He's controlled for ages. They had to tap the shrine to try and keep him alive. Now the BKB comes out for Kaiser. He turns the fight around, but he's not finding kills. Nando resets. Now the bubble and trouble perhaps for HellRaisers. Mountie, they're going to lose the Earth Spirit. Dead for 60. No buyback there either. Kaiser controlled in the shards. Now the snowball coming through. James will blink out. Just kiting the dragon. Focusing on objectives. Nando surges back in. He wants to throw off the tower. He's going to take it down. Tier 3 fallen. Looking for the melee next. James will go unstoppable, and it seems the end is nigh. HellRaisers have been slain and cast back into the abyss from whence they came. It felt like they had clawed their way back into a game they had no business being in, but Execration put a stop to it.
Well, both teams, right? Execration looked like they were in so much trouble early on. They kind of withstand that. They were able to take down the tier 3 on the bottom, slowly